growing up, what all sports did you play?
I started off actually playing baseball. I played baseball until I was like 6. And then basketball was always number one. And then football came in when I got to middle school around that time. And after that, it was just, I kind of put my eggs in two baskets. And I was just like, football and basketball would be the only way out. So.
And so talk to us about like your high school career. I mean, you were pretty good in both sports.
Um, I played varsity sports from ninth grade all the way up. I got pulled up in football after the first game. Basketball, I played 2 games of JV and then got pulled up. Um, I was all region every year of high school in both sports. All state my senior year in both sports. Football was we were really good in football. I think we went 10-1 every year I was in high school. Uh, Basketball, we was a come up. We weren't really a basketball school when I got there. We had a new coach my freshman year, and he kind of changed the program around. So we went from being like, I think we were 8-14 my freshman year to going 22-4 or something like that up to my senior year. So
And in football, we've heard stories that you were recruited at a pretty high level to play football. And just talk to us a little bit about how was that?
um, it was it was actually pretty weird because I don't really, the way I see it, they weren't really coming to see me at the beginning because I had a friend that was really good. He plays at the University of Maryland. So I think there was more coming to see him play, and it just happened to notice me at the time. And it was, our coach did a great job of getting our names out and stuff like that. So it was every day another school coming in, going to work out for another school, driving 4 or 5 hours every week to go work out. During football practices, we have 3 or 4 D1 schools all at practice, just watching us practice. So it was really fun.
And with football, did you go on any recruiting trips?
I went to Virginia Tech 4 times, UVA once. I went with me and my friend both went to Duke the same day, and I think he went to NC State right after. But yes, I took multiple trips. I went Old Dominion a couple of times and Norfolk State a couple of times too. So
So how is it going to being recruited from big time like at ACC and Big Ten type schools to playing basketball? Just talk about the transition from that.
uh, yeah, actually, to me, the transition it wasn't really much of a difference. From the town I was from, it was really small, so coming to Aiken was a big jump too. I mean, it wasn't as big as going to ACC school, but it was still a humongous jump. Um, Schools like Tech, which was probably my favorite coming through, was really like enjoyment, but you didn't get the family oriented feel that you get here at Aiken. So
Going to your senior year, I mean, the last little bit of last year you came out and started really, thriving, and we saw glimpses the first couple of years of what you could do here, and I was like last year seemed to validate that to an extent, and then so going into this year, what are you looking forward to this year?
I'm just looking forward to getting out there and having fun with my teammates. This is a weird year with everything going on, so I guess we just looking forward to getting out there and trying to win every game. So.
Looking back, do you ever wonder, what if I would have played football instead, or are you glad you made this choice?
I actually look back and think about it all the time, like what could have been, what might have worked out differently, but I don't regret anything at all. It's all just, it was a plan, so.
What like highlights of you being recruited, like football, basketball type stuff? I mean, what got you down here?
Uh, Football-wise, the highlight of my whole recruitment had to be going to the Virginia Tech Ohio State game. That was an unreal experience, being able to walk through the tunnel and lead the team out, going into the field, touching the Hokie Stone, coming out the tunnel. It was thousands of people yelling and jumping. It was unreal. But basketball-wise, I kind of knew as soon as I came. Coach V and them didn't start recruiting me until late in my high school career. Like, we were already done playing, season was over. They kind of just called me and asked for my tape. My high school coach sent it. Like, the next week, they were like, all right, we need you to come down here and play with the guys. So I came down and played, and as soon as I got down here, I knew it was just the right field. So that's probably the highlight of my whole basketball career.
What was it about that made you choose that over going with football?
Ever since I was little, I always had a knack that I knew I was going to play basketball for some reason. Like, I was always good at football, but basketball always was number one. Like, so just having the option, and then the way I was being treated on my visit, how close-knit everybody was here in Aiken. My parents and Coach V actually talked a lot. My parents love Coach V to death, so it was just a great fit. I mean, and plus that, and me wanting to play basketball instead of football at the time just made it right.
What made you love basketball so much?
Basketball was really my first love. My mom was a high school and college coach, so I grew up around the game. Even when I was little, it's pictures of me, my mom in practice, and I'm in a stroller just sitting in the gym. So basketball was just always that thing. It was always a love for me.
So many times when we have people come in here and say they talk about their dads being the coach. What was it like having your mom be that for you?
Well, I kind of had it both ways. So my mom was I was with my mom most of the time when she was coaching. So she'd always take me to practice, always be right there with me. She came every game, always. When I first started playing, she was pretty much who helped me develop all my skills. When I got to high school, my dad was actually one of my football coaches. So it actually, when I played, I went from offense playing wide receiver, tight end, to playing defensive line, outside linebacker. So when I was on defense, my dad was my coach. So it made it. So just it was an evolution of time, going from one to the other, but it was still great.
Did that create any tension whenever you went with basketball over football?
A little at times. Me and my dad still joke about it. He always thought I was better at football. He always said I had more opportunities to go bigger and do bigger and better things playing football. I don't know, he's probably right, but I mean, it is what it is. They always told me just pick what makes you happy. We just want to see you happy. So I tried to get through that other day, one night, and there was a lady coming towards me, and I was going out. I'm like, all right. We just sat there and looked at each other. I'm like, who's going?